Hey, how's it going? It's Craig. I'm out in the garage and today I've got a nice little social distancing pickup. Let's take a look. Okay, so with COVID-19 and everything on at the moment, I've been avoiding Facebook Marketplace and things because it's too tempting to see things and not be able to pick them up. But the other day I was browsing through Facebook and I clicked on Marketplace and a local listing came up and it was just listed within that hour. So I messaged them to see how far away they were. They weren't within walking distance, but the good thing is they were just right next to where we go for our weekly shop. So I arranged to pay them via bank transfer, and then I went and picked it up on the way to our shop that week. And the good thing is, it was a nice little Game Boy Pocket, pretty decent condition all in. I haven't sorted anything out with it yet. It's got a battery pack adapter on it. Came with a power supply to charge it as well, so not a bad little pickup. Paid £10 for it. It was listed as untested, so to me untested always means faulty. So I want to take a look at this, obviously power it up and have a go with it first. I'm not going to use the power supply or the battery because you don't know how long they've been sat around for. So I'll get some batteries, power this up, give it a test, give it a look over, see if everything else is working on it. If it all works, bargain, £10 Game Boy Pocket. I did notice it doesn't have a serial number on the back. A lot of people take them off, especially on these translucent ones where you can see the cartridge through it. It blocks it a little bit. So that's no good for the CEX folder, so a little bit of a shame, but I could look at getting a replacement serial number, but I'm not worried about trading this in. For £10 I'll probably keep it on the shelf with the other Game Boys and things. So yeah, let's get stuck in, have a look at it, see what it's like, and give it a clean up. Cool. Okay, so Game Boy and the charger. I'm not going to plug that charger in straight away and try it with that. I'm going to test this out with some batteries. So first of all, we're going to unplug it from the bottom, unclip that. So it doesn't look in too bad condition, but you can see how clear and nice inside that is. So that hasn't got any battery deterioration, which is good. Happy with that. Pop some batteries in. Give them over and awesome. So that's actually working. So 2 batteries and we've got a working Game Boy already. Let's try it with the game, see if that's working too, see if there's any issues. But that screen looked pretty neat then. So your trusty Super Mario Land. Cartridge slot's a little bit tight, but not too bad. Look at that. Okay, that sound wheel is a bit off. Sounds a bit crackly when you're up and down on the wheel. It's not adjusting properly, so I could clean all that up anyway. Contrast wheel's working nice, but yeah, so the buttons all seem to be working. Yeah, so far so good. It's a working Game Boy at the moment. So that was. I seem to be the only person that gets a little bit disappointed when I pick up something and it's actually working. So I want to clean it up. But that volume control is not working properly. So I'm gonna take it apart and clean it all up anyway. And it's just all a little bit grubby. It could do with a clean up. It's not in bad condition at all. It's actually in pretty neat condition. The screen hasn't got a single scratch on it, which is good. But let's try it out. I wonder if this connection's going to have any wear and tear on it, because it looks like it's been played with a battery pack a lot. So what I'm going to do is let's plug this in, give this a try, see if this actually works, and then go from there. Right, so look. Okay, I'm going to pop these batteries out. And pop this into the bottom.
Yeah, and it's working straight off the power supply as well. Oh, it's gone off. Okay, yeah, so this is a typical fault with these. As you can see, as I'm touching this, these connectors become loose. So I might need to refresh the solder points on those just to give them a little bit of connection underneath. Not too bad if I wiggle it around quite a bit, but imagine that getting halfway through a game on say Super Mario Land, getting towards the end of the level and that knocks a little bit and goes like that. That would absolutely kill me. Obviously this can go straight into the bottom of here, but it's intended to go into the side of this. So you charge, the battery pack gets charged, and then that goes into the bottom of your Game Boy to charge that. So what I might do is leave this, I'm going to leave this with a power supply into it for a while, see if this actually builds up a charge and if it holds it. I'm not very confident this is going to last long. I might actually pop this open and see what I can find inside of it as well. Okay, so and it's leave that charging while I open this up, and then let's take a look at what's inside this Game Boy, give it a clean up, and then go from there. Cool. If you can hear anything in the background, today's VHS is episode or dataset 4 of the Guyver series on manga. So that's playing on my VHS player in the background. Okay, so that was a pretty straightforward cleanup. It's looking really nice now, nice and clean. No grub on it at all. All the buttons are nice and clean as well. There wasn't too much of an issue inside. I resoldered those connectors on that power jack, and I gave the wheels a good clean with some isopropyl alcohol and cleaned the board over as well and the contacts underneath here. The rest of it I cleaned with a antibacterial wipe. I didn't want to take the screen out because these screens are notorious for when you pop them out on the Game Boy Pocket that you twist it because you've got to put a little like a prying tool underneath it and push it out. And this screen was in such nice condition and the lens is nice as well, so I didn't want to take it out at all. So I thought just give it all a good clean up all the board and everything else. So whilst we've been doing that, this has probably taken me about 20 minutes. To take it apart, clean it all up and put it back together and solder those points, so not very long. Two things to test out. This has been charging throughout, so does this now work? Is it holding a battery charge at all? I don't know how long it would last for. As I say, it's only been charging for about 20 minutes, so we're going to give that a test. Also, just to test out the items that were a little bit dodgy on this before, see if they work now. Okay, so let's take a look. So I'm going to unplug that from the mains. Pop this in that way round. Clank it in, there we go. And then we pop this into our newly soldered jack on the bottom. Pop a game in. Yep, and we got power. So that battery pack is holding a charge. And we got, look at that. Sound is a lot better now. Scrolls up and down nice and neat. Before it was a bit crackly when you were scrolling up and down through the sound, the volume. Now it's a lot neater, and then the contrast as well. We didn't have any issues with the contrast, but looking nice. So look at the nice condition Game Boy now. So that's working. Give this a bit of a wiggle. Yeah, you can see that's solid now. So I can wiggle that around. That's resoldered just those points. All I did is heat them up. I didn't even have to put any extra solder onto them. But that's held it nice and sturdy in place now. So all in all, nice looking Game Boy. I'm happy with that.
Okay, so there we have it. fully working Game Boy Pocket. That volume wheel is nice and clean now, and you can adjust the volume without it crackling and jumping around. The contrast wheel worked fine anyway. Resoldered those points on that charge port, and everything else is fine. Giving it a nice clean inside and out. Isopropyl alcohol on the board, and then some antibacterial wipes on the board, on the case, and some of the buttons and things. So pretty clean. Other than that, there wasn't much to do on it. I'm probably that weird guy that when I do work on things, I want it to be broken so I can fix it. But it wasn't much of a fix. Video was more of just a clean up and tidy. But as I said, 10, 12 quid with a back cover for it. That's a pretty nice piece of kit. So as you can see, there's no serial number on the back of that, but you can see the cartridge through it. So that's normally why people pick them off, so you can see the card through it. That means that I can't trade it in to CEX. I think they're giving it quite a decent value on them as well for the clear pockets and this condition anyway. But this is going to stay in the collection. I've got another yellow one up there, a pocket, and I've got a couple of DMGs as well. So cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Any questions or anything? It's a pretty straightforward video. Wasn't much to go through, but any questions, give me a shout in the comments down below. Catch you soon.